were sold by their uncle, some were sold by their aunt. It has to be someone very close to them. So in most cases, it makes it difficult to even know whether this offer they are getting is real or it is not real. But one thing I do tell people is that if an offer is too good to be true, it is not true. You should be able to verify any offer that is coming your way. There should be a digital footprint. A good example is someone is asking you, okay, there is a scholarship for you in this country. Come to this country and you go to school for free. You should be able to verify from that country and from that school, is this scholarship open? Okay, did my name appear? Another one is your aunts or a close relatives asking you, I have a friend in this country. They need a sales girl to come and work for. You should be able to verify from the embassy of that country in our own country here. Okay, this company, does it exist? Is it registered? Did they apply for visa for me? You should be able to see your visa and you should be able to verify it. Traffickers are tricky. They have this crazy PR. That is the annoying part. They have crazy PR that makes everything look so real. But if you can ask the right questions, you'll be able to spot those red flags. Another thing they actually do now that is a trend is for Mali, they tell you to come, that there is a gold mining company there and they need workers. This is false. Because just verifying about Mali online, you'll see that the gold miners they request for are people that speak French. They're all indigenous. We don't speak French. So definitely there's no way they are going to ask us to come to their country to come and mine gold for them when they have lots of laborers who speak their indigenous language. So it's just being able to think outside the box and ask the right question. The red flag is always there.
Wow. You know, you're talking and I kept nodding because you're just, saying a whole lot of things that people need to be aware. Now let's look a little into those that have already sadly become victims, and they might be already victims of sexual exploitation. Are there any signs around me? If I see somebody in a particular way, then I will know that this person is being exploited sexually.
The thing is that when what the first thing they do to these victims is that they brainwash them. They make it look like what is happening to them is normal. That's how life works, and there's nothing wrong with them. So it's become so difficult for these victims to seek for help. But you can easily spot signs of trafficking when you see someone. They become easily withdrawn. That is the first sign. They become easily withdrawn, and they start getting addicted to substances to enable them cope with the trauma, with the workload, and with the new environment. So addiction, withdrawn, extreme anger. They are always, not everyone, but most of them become more violent, less tolerable, and they're always angry and cranky. But for the victims, sometimes you try to ask them, are you okay? Are you fine? They tell you they are fine, they are fine, they are fine. But they become extremely withdrawn. That is the first sign. They lose interest in previous social activities, things that makes them happy. Some even go for days without bathing, without brushing their teeth, without eating well. So those are just the little subtle signs. And it's really difficult for most victims to open up, honestly. It's really, really difficult because they don't even know what is happening to them is exploitation. They've been so brainwashed that they start thinking that it is normal and that's how life works. So, but the easiest signs you can spot is that being withdrawn, that unprocessed emotion burst, and there's always this outburst. Like you can just be having a random conversation, a little thing just trigger you up and you just flare up. So those are the little spot signs.
Is it a part of the reason why sometimes you find out that they hardly want to seek help? Is it the brainwashing that causes that?
It's the brainwashing, and the brainwashing itself, they don't even do it directly, like it's indirectly. Because now the environment, the new environment they find themselves, they are not the only one there, they are not the only victim. The environment is filled with other victims, and they are all doing the same thing. So the environment starts influencing them that, okay, yeah, this guy is doing this, that guy is doing that, this one is smoking, that one is smoking, that one can sleep with about 10 men a day, this guy can sleep with about 10 women a day. So it becomes normal. It is what they see every day, like from morning to night. It is the same thing.
Yeah.
So the brain starts processing it bit by bit by bit, and at the end of the day, being in the field, one thing I've noticed that sometimes when we try to bring people out from sexual exploitation, after getting them out, the first month is always very hard because we are introducing them to a new environment and we start looking like the bad person. No, I don't want, I can't cope. I want this, I want that. I want to, that person was trying to help me. They start fighting us. So it's after we rehabilitate them, we expose them to new things, they start on that, oh, I was trafficked. But the first month is always difficult. Like they really struggle and fight with us that they want to go back there. They've been brainwashed. Indirectly syndrome has already taken place.
The program is still I Wish I Knew Radio Drama and program brought to you by Eagles 102.3 at Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. And it is produced and brought to you by the Media Coalition and Awareness to Halt Human Trafficking. If you are listening right now, we're actually live on Facebook and YouTube. So for Facebook, you can go to at Eagles FM Abuja and you can drop your comments there. I will take the comments on how you feel we can help to reduce the scourge of human trafficking and then sexual exploitation, just like our guest is sharing with us. You can also reach us on the number 090-8766-8888. That is 090-8766-8888. Madam Hope, so let's look at the effect on the family of the victims. Like what, based on your experience, what usually happens to the loved ones of the victim?
Honestly, they become so traumatized because no one wants to know his or her own loved one is out there going through one or two things. The trauma is everlasting. And in most cases, it's difficult to bring them back. Extremely difficult to bring them back. And it becomes so traumatizing. A good example is about last month, we lost a girl. She was sexually exploited to the point we intervened. And during the time she was working, she was being exploited. She forgot the family's contacts. Like, we don't know what happened to her, but she just had that temporary memory loss and she forgot her family's contact. So when we now came into the picture, we're trying to talk to her. Can you just remember your mom's contact or where you came from in Nigeria? She couldn't remember anything, like absolutely anything. And we also couldn't contact the family because there was no one to contact. She forgot where she came from. It was at the point when she now died, we prayed for her, we uploaded her picture online. Her uncle now reached out to us that this is our cousin. We've been looking for her. This is our niece. We've been looking for her for more than 3 years. This and that and this. He was crying. The mother also reached out, was crying that they've been looking for her, that they didn't know what was happening, what she was going through. And unfortunately, the girl passed without the family without the family contacting her. They don't even know how she was buried, where she was buried. They are going to live with this for the rest of their life. And let's now look at the scenario where the girl is able to make it back home. The trauma is already there. Honestly, when you see victims of sexual exploitation, they don't recover. No matter the rehabilitation, it takes like a lot of effort for them to even stabilize and recover, especially when they are addicted to substances. It takes a lot of effort for them to recover, especially when they are addicted to substances. This is another toll on the family. They start taking them to rehabilitation center. If they're addicted to drugs, they try to wean them from drugs. And they start to now rebuild their life from the beginning again. Is another work. There are some that comes back with some sicknesses and they start running, and the parents or the relatives start running from one place to the other to make sure they recover, or some recover, some don't recover. let's assume they recover, the trauma is still there.
This
Bad
is true, actually.
dreams, nightmares, all those ones, being
Yeah.
withdrawn. There are some don't even want to start afresh again. Maybe they should go back to school, learning trade. Some don't want. They become an everlasting burden on the relatives. And some they might want to start afresh and start again. The financial burden still falls back on the parents. So in most cases, it's not the toll, even though the family, the relatives, they don't go through that same trauma they've gone through, but they are still a part of it, whether they like it or not. They are still going to bear part of the pain the victim has gone through.
Truly, honestly, you're sharing some really, really sad realities. Now, for people, for some of the, we know, like you said, they are forced into this life. Let's look at the issue of online grooming, for example.
Yeah,
How people become victims. Maybe somebody started grooming them from social media. Really, does this online grooming play a role in somebody becoming a victim in real life?
definitely yes. Online grooming is a thing. It plays a role. Because now, before someone connects with someone online and you start communicating them over and over again, there's this level of trust already. There must be this level of trust. And one thing most people don't understand is social media is a mirage. Like a lot of things we see are not what is happening. So this person that is grooming them is definitely intentional. He or she will show the person, we show the victim what they want to see. We show them that reality they are really hoping for. So the victim tends to trust them. And every other thing someone tries to tell them, aside what the groomer is telling them, they will not even listen. Because everything they are hoping for, everything they want to see, the groomer is already showing it to them. So they tend to believe. And when the groomer know that okay, this person trusts me so much, if they say jump, they will jump. If they say fall, they will fall. This is why we have a lot of young ladies and young guys leaving the house without telling their parents, without telling their relatives that they are stepping out, they are going somewhere. Because the person they've been communicating with online, the person that has been grooming them online, there's this level of trust they've built. They've built that level of trust that even their family, their relatives cannot influence it or change it. So that online grooming is the first I don't know how to put it, but is the first thing we should look at when we are trying to curb sexual exploitation, because groomers are online. That's where they source most victims from.
Yeah.
They are online and they sell these realities to their victims. And when the victim, when they know that they've captivated the interest of the victims, it's over.
Wow. You know, part of what I wanted to ask you in line with the issue of the online grooming, most of the times when we talk about it, it looks like it's just mostly for children and young people, maybe teenagers and all of that. But is it possible that somebody even in their 20s and 30s to be groomed to become victims online from online?
Anyone that has a weakness can be groomed.
Okay.
That has a weakness can be groomed. Like when we look at teenagers, we look at okay, their lack of exposure, the feeling of they want to be loved, they're not really exposed. If we look at adults, someone in their 20s and their 30s, if they have a weakness, now let's look at maybe single mom, someone she's a single mother, is a single father, they want love, and the person on the other side, that's the groomer, are ready to fill in the gap. So anyone can be loved. Anyone that has a weakness can be groomed.
Wow. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to do, but I have to publicly ask you. We need you to come back. We need you to come back,
Most definitely, I would love to do
Onyakubu,
that.
because let me tell you the reason why I love your interview. You know, you're breaking it down to the nitty gritty, and you're using it in simple words that people understand. That's why I since in this conversation with you today. And so
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you can sacrifice another 30 minutes for us next
Oh,
week so that
definitely, I would love to do that
thank
because
you.
this, especially sexual exploitation, is a broad topic. Honestly, it's
Yes.
not something that can be covered in 30 minutes.
I am
So
actually looking
definitely,
at my notes and there's a lot that I need to ask you, but our time is up. So if we can have you next week for a part two, we'll be glad.
definitely, let's do it next week.
Thank you
Let's do the
so
part two
much.
next week.
Now, before you leave us, because now I'm sure I don't know, but you know when you were talking, I was having goosebumps. Like, what can I do if how can I know that somebody is already grooming me online so that we know something we can hold on to before next week? How what are
You
some of those things, conversations they will have with me?
the first way to know someone is grooming you online is they know your weakness and they are selling the perfect cure to your weakness. Like they have the perfect answer to your weakness and they're selling it for you at no cost. That person is grooming you. That's the first way. When you know that, okay, this person has the perfect answer to my weakness, that person is planning something for you.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with us. And we will have a second part because I have some really, really important questions I would love to ask you. But we sincerely appreciate your time and we look forward to having you next week.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much for
much.
having me.
Thank you. We're so glad to have had you. We've been talking with Yakubu Oyiza Hope, who is the founder founder of Luna Oyiza Foundation. And I don't know if you've been following this program, you notice that this is a topic that we're taking for the first time. And at the same time, I'm really, really glad that, we're talking about this thing in this manner. In this manner is the manner that is very, very important to me right now because we've been able to look at it in simple terms of how you can, track down trafficking for sexual exploitation, what it does to us, the loved ones, and of course, the victim as well. All right, we have about 2 minutes. Oh, it's just a minute. But if you want to lend your voice, please, you can call us on 090 97 05 4450. 090 97 05. Confirm if what you are suspecting is not like that or it is. So I'll share with us the MICAT helpline and please save the number because it might be useful at some point. 0913 359 1611. 0913 359 1611. So I will plead with us that you can save this number as MICAT, and anytime there's an issue, you can always reach out to us. I'm seeing a phone call right now, but I'm so sorry. We have to go with the next program that is coming up. But then you can join us next week for the second part of this discussion